WTMP HD, Egypt Lake, Tampa, and now on 102.1 in Pinellas County.
Alrighty. All right, Tampa Bay, y'all showed out last week. I gotta tell you, starting this show off, y'all did all the stuff that we wanted folks to do 10, 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. Cause you got together in groups, mm-hmm. and you listen to Porch Talk Radio, and even some of you groups had people to call in during the show while you was in the group, because I can hear people in the background, mm-hmm. sometimes from some of the calls. And after the show, you called and you talked about it. And so for that, what we're going to do this week, mm-hmm. and this is Eddie Adams, your host, and Gabriel and Tim here in the studio with Porch me, Talk. Porch Talk Radio, doing what we do.
Facebook Live.
Facebook. we going to do this because I saw some folks after the show last week, and some of you was trying to get in, and you couldn't get in, and the show has so much stuff going on mm-hmm. in the show, but it was good stuff, and you guys called, the lines was full, and I took the first 30 minutes to do what we needed to do, so we made sure we got the information out there. But when we opened up the lines from that time to the end of the show, you called. You did what we want you to do. And you called because you had concerns about what's happening with the city and some of the stuff that's going on between the mayor and city council and the way they're going to fix everything and the way stuff has been going. So anyway, I got on a little tangent there, a little rant, because this is going to be an exciting show. We got some good stuff to talk about, and last week's show just it was probably one of the best shows in the whole 13 years we've been doing Porch Talk Radio. Now it was one other show, if you guys remember. If you got it when we had the pirate story about the pirate and Captain Phillips, and how SEAL Team 6 went out there and shot the guy in the middle of the ocean, that whole thing. Well, we had one of those guys from the ship on the show a number of years ago, mm-hmm. and that was a really, really important, spectacular show, because it was a real to life pirate story that they made a movie out of, and he came here and talked with us, and the community loved that show. Y'all loved that show, and from what I gather from the output and the cries I got from the last show, that was a great show. So anyway, what we're gonna do this week? Now this is Eddie Adams, your host on Porch Talk Radio, your favorite radio show in urban Hillsborough County. Matter of fact, Tampa Bay area. Mm-hmm. And what we're going to do this week, we're going to kind of start on when we left off last week. If you got something that you wanted to call in and didn't get a chance to say it last week, go ahead and call in this show. Call in the first 30 minutes, because by the time we get to the last 30 minutes, we may be anywhere.
We done.
And we want to make sure that the community gets a chance to hear you. That's one of the things that this show is good for. It's good for the community, because I know people who call, give information, and then I turn around and I actually hear the information being repeated out in the community. So that's a good thing. So anyway, Porch Talk Radio. This is Eddie Adams Jr. I'm going to give the call-in number, because we got a new call-in number. The call-in number is 888-247-8712. 888-247-8712. That's the call-in number. Eddie Adams Jr. My cell phone number is 813-12. Facebook Live, y'all folks, good Good. And if you didn't get a chance to hear the show last week, it's on my Facebook page. It's on Porch Talk Radio. So you can go to PorchTalkRadio.com and see the show from last week. Because I had a couple people ask about it. I had a couple people want to know when it was going to get posted so that they can go back and hear it because they didn't get a chance to do it live. So anyway, folks, we already got a caller. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio on this fine Saturday morning. Who are you, where you calling from, and what say you? Hello?
And we must change that right away.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, bye-bye. All right.
You know, that was a great idea, real quick. That's good for the community to do it on their own. Yeah. I think getting government money is always a bad thing.
Well, we do have some groups that is currently working on some of the problems within the community.
That's excellent.
And we're going to try to make this thing happen within a short period of time. Mm-hmm. Now that the legislative session is over with, but I had a conversation with Representative Diane Hart, and they're getting ready to go back to Tallahassee because they got some more stuff to do. So we're going to try to get this meeting together, mm-hmm. After the legislature get out.
Excellent.
Okay, we got another caller. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio on this fine Saturday morning. Who are you? Where you calling from? What say you? Hello?
Hi.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm calling, this is Gwendolyn. Mr. Adams, I want to apologize to you because I yelled in your ear last week, and I want to express why I did what I did and say some other things.
Yes,
Over
ma'am.
the last year and a half, I've been listening to the morning talk shows, and last Saturday just pushed me over the edge, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of things going on with City Councilman Gould, and my perspective, okay, all of the information that came out about this situation, if there's an investigation by the mayor or whoever's investigating, all of that should have been done, then we, the members of the community, would know about it. This is why I reacted the way I did, because never in my life have I ever heard anybody's employment record and all these other things aired on the radio or anywhere else. But I want to bring something. Some of you probably know of these things that I'm about to mention. This city has so many things that are going on. Okay, Publix built a store down on Fletcher. The next thing that happened, okay, the plaza across from Sears, we're in Dixon. I'm thinking this is going to be for people in the community. No, that's student housing. The next thing that happened, okay, Sears. That plaza where Sears is, I'm thinking this is going to be housing for the community. No. They build a, say, parking garage, that's student housing. Okay, we're going to take it a little further. Now the mayor said we want to keep people in the community. Okay, this is the university community. We are not keeping people in the community. Let me take it a little bit further. Sidewalks, okay? Right in front of the mall at 22nd and Fowler. A sidewalk was, say, extended and a ramp for someone in wheelchair. There are two ladies in this city that I've seen in wheelchairs, okay? The bicycle lane. People are afraid to ride in the streets. They're riding on the sidewalk. Let me take it a little bit further. My real frustration, I see things that are needed in this community. Okay, filthy bus stops. Call in about those. And let me back it up. So, previous director of Heartline, I called about the bus stop. I called about the filthy shelter at the University Transfer Center. And I'm getting passionate about this because I'm sick of calling. What I was told, that bus shelter at, say, University was power washed twice a day. That is not true. Okay, other issues. Right-of-ways with garbage and trash. Homeless people. Okay, I met a lady 2 weeks ago, Sunday, over at a store on Fowler Avenue. This lady told me she would have to pay $120 to get in the shelter. And after the lady left me, God knows I wish I would have thought about it before then. Whatever I had in my purse, I would have given it to her. All that lady could get out of that store was water. Okay, that project on Hannah, that could have been housing. Okay, we are not going to go around the city $4 million. I pay close attention to what's going on in this city. Things for us poor people, things are not moving ahead as they should. And something a lady said to me years ago, we do all this talking about all these issues. I belonged to a group for 14 years as a volunteer, another group 9 years. We had an agenda, we got things done. So this is just too much talk. We need action. And I'll say this. Someone said it earlier. Ye without thought cast the first stone.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We got another call. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio. Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you? Hello?
Hey, good afternoon, Eddie. This is Brother Jarvis. How are you?
Hey, Jarvis, hanging in there, hanging in there.
Hey, glad to hear from you. How you doing, Gabriel? Glad y'all there. Porch Talk Radio is right on time.
Awesome.
I just want to say this, Eddie. I want to make an announcement, but I want to make a comment prior to my announcement. I'll be quick.
Okay, go ahead.
What we need to do, brother, is let that process play out, and let's see can we get the administration and the city council on the same page with the Hannah Street project, Hannah Avenue project, making sure we got black participation, not minority participation, black participation on that project with black subcontractors. Make sure that we can get affordable housing, rehabbing housing, doing things that we need to do to make the community better. A lot of times these things are distractions. 23 people applied for that seat, and we know it was a lot of politics that play in who got that seat. Let's give the lady a chance. Miss Lynn Hertach. See if what she's going to do. She there now, and let's see can we make the city move. We have to be aware that this is a strong mayor form of government, and the mayor is the chief executive of the city. So let's see how we can sit down with her and get some positive things going on. Now, I think one thing would help us as community leaders. This is for Muslim people, this is our holy time of the year called Ramadan. And we fast and we pray and we gain discipline and self-control, God consciousness. So we're doing an event and inviting the broader community, the community leaders, elected officials to this event. It's called the Community Iftar, sponsored by the TampaBay Muslim Association, in conjunction with Masjid Al-Nasser in Sulphur Springs. That's 905 East Skagway. That's where we're going to do the event at. It's going to be Friday, this coming Friday, April 15th at 7:30. It's all free. We're going to break the fast about 7:44, and we're going to have a big feast. We have baked chicken, fish, vegetables, steak, pie, bean pie. It's going to be just a feast, and we want you to come, Eddie. We having a speaker coming from Houston, Texas. She's Sister Anissa Dewan. She's the Assistant Director of Islamic Learning Center in Houston. She's an Islamic scholar. She's going to talk about the power of fasting. So it's this Friday, April 15th, 7:30, Masjid Al-Nasser in Sulphur Springs on the corner of Nebraska and Bush. For further information, you can call me at 813-787-6652. And also, April the 3rd, we have two powerful organizations coming together. NAACP Open House and Candy Low Black Business Bus Tour. April the 3rd is going to be at 5101 North 40th Street, where Gary Adult High School is going to be a social justice, economic empowerment day. That will be a day for all of us to come out, vendors, and get some things done. Right across the street from the 1828 Club, we're going to have a big economic empowerment day. Come Black Business Bus Tour and NAACP Open House. Thank you, Eddie. Porch Talk Radio. Gabriel, y'all the best.
All right, thank you, Jarvis. Thank you. And for Jarvis, do we have another caller? Okay, all right. So what Jarvis is talking about and what these callers were talking about is we have city government literally run amok.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard and saw some stuff about the mayor. I am going to I think she said something like, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this and we're gonna fix it and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. The mayor and her office are in the middle of this whole thing. It's kind of like being a mobster or a gangster and y'all having a meeting and somebody standing up and say, yeah, we're gonna fix we gonna fix those other guys. I mean, the problem is right there, and you're in the middle of the ring. You're the ringleader because some of the stuff she said publicly about Orlando Goose had to be off-colored and real disrespectful. I think.
It's a blood sport, Eddie.
Well, yeah, it's a blood sport. But what they're doing is, okay.
Come on, Eddie, be careful.
They're like the magician who got his hand waving over here, and you're watching his hand waving, and he's got the other hand in your pocket while he's talking to you and saying sweet, kind words to you. He robbing you blind. That's what's happening because the reason Dingfelder got in trouble wasn't what everybody think. The reason he got in trouble is because a bunch of rich white folks decided that they want to do something, and he wasn't going along with the plan. He wasn't going along to get along, and so they made him giddy up. That's literally what they said. Okay, if you're not gonna play with us, we're gonna take our ball. And not only are we going home, we sending you home. And so within a month or two, he already been replaced. And I told y'all last week, you was thinking, somebody intimated, threw it out there that they were gonna get a black female on Tampa City Council. Well, see, what you didn't understand is the backside of that. Is Tampa City Council has never had 2 blacks on Tampa City Council at one time.
That's not allowed, Eddie.
They never had 2 blacks on Tampa City Council at one time. And to have it go and not go through the voting process, to have them appoint a black female to the city council, even though they all knew that's what a whole segment of the population was hoping for. They didn't give a crap because that made politics at Tampa City Council be a little different than it's ever been before. They have 2 blacks up there. That kind of shifts power. Okay, we got another caller. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio on this fine Saturday afternoon.
Fine.
Who are you? Where are you calling from? And what say you? Hello.
Hello, peace.
Yes, ma'am.
Peace and blessings. How you doing, brother?
Hi, sister.
And so last week I called you privately, and I thank you for your leadership, and I did not want to hesitate in calling in today. This is, I think my voice is known enough, but this is Sister Connie Burton, and again, I want to thank you. See, we can't let people from a point of privilege dictate what punishment should look for us.
Right.
We cannot do that. Nor can we allow people to continue to give us distractions. Case in point, the Will Smith event, both of them people going to be all right. I believe Chris Rock's career has been resurrected as a result of that slap.
And elevated. Elevated.
Probably going to make more money now than he probably could foresee before the slap.
Right.
Nevertheless, we got real systemic problems inside of Tampa. And the African community in particular, as we are getting ready to move toward an election season, we got to remember how people can, like you said, like a shell game. We haven't been able to get economic development.
Nope.
Even though that we're 26% of the population, and all we can get is perhaps a apprentice program for all people. We're talking about housing, and then they'll tell us that there's money for down payment assistance, but the down payment assistance and your wages can't even match up to qualifications for the house. So we are being pushed out of our community. We're being pushed, and again, I say by our all-Democrat-ran controlled city that has used the community as bait.
Yes.
And now with this issue that could be played out in civil litigation, if it go that far, is not going to make my conditions better for me, the people in East Tampa, as long as the mayor continue to play this game with us, we got to be laser center focused and knowing that people that have made promises in the past has not produced, that the mayor is the leader of this city. And if our community is fractured, I have to look toward her leadership and her hand in all of this situation. By choice, I was the best candidate down there Tuesday. I went as a result of the people sending me. But of course, they could not spend political capital on someone that was different than their voices and their vision. And so we continue to have business as usual. But again, thank you so much for your leadership.
Well, thank you for calling, sister. And Connie, while I got you on the line, let me let you know, and all the other folks at one time. I met Lynn Hertog this morning, and I think she's got good intentions. And I watched the city council meeting on TV last Thursday when they swore in, and let me let you guys know, she's not gonna be the savior for our community. She got good intention, and she intend to do some great things, but again, it's politics. It's 6 other people who have votes, and she can't get 3 others to vote with her. She can have the best intentions, but it's gonna be business as usual. But this is what's gonna be different. They're gonna have a thorn in their side. Like, I remember there was a time Sister Connie stood outside the courthouse with a bullhorn. Well, I'm going to city council meeting, and I'm gonna ask city council with the new person on it, because I'm gonna look at her, because I know her heart's in the right place. I'm gonna say, how much money do the city of Tampa spend with black businesses and folks in the black community? And they got, hopefully by then they have that number, but they're not gonna have a number. And when they come up with that number, they're gonna be amazed. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue to go down there and ask that question until they do something about it. You see what I'm saying? Because if people just constantly, well, I know what are you gonna ask? Well, I'm telling you right now what I'm asking, because you just say 26% of Tampa population is black. They are black folks. But the city of Tampa, with over $1 billion budget, spends less than 2%, and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt by saying 2%.
Yeah, I think it's high.
Less than 2% of their budget with black folks and black businesses here in Tampa Bay. So they're making a bunch of other white folks rich and empowered, because they got constant business from the city of Tampa that for some reason or another, the city council, neither the mayor, thinks it's okay, to spend money with black folks. They matter of fact, avoid it as much as possible. And we cannot, as people, as disrespected people, cannot let them keep playing us like that. So what we got to do is go down there and demand. So all those who want to show up at city council meeting on Thursday, come with me, help me, back me, because I'm going to put the city council in a spot that they should have been put in years and years ago, because they ain't just started not spending money with black folks.
Oh, yeah.
We going to make them, great American LBJ say, make us do it. Well, darn it.
Guys.
Darn it, that time has come. We're gonna go make them spend some money like they should be. It may not be 26%, but it's gonna be more than 2%, I guarantee you.
Eddie, and I thank you guys. Connie Burton, I'm not always, you and I see eye to eye, but you are on point today, and that's strong. And you're basically saying, why do we keep looking to the people that put us in this predicament and keep us in this predicament? Why are we looking to them for answers? And I think Eddie's being realistic by setting expectations of this new member going in. They're like a token at this point, because they can say what they want and they can have the intentions they want. But if they don't have the power to persuade and get those votes to swing, then we're back to, it's a nice gesture.
Yeah.
Okay, you wanted a black person, another one. Here we go. They're powerless, but we'll keep them on here and we'll keep them like eye candy. And nothing gets done, nothing gets changed, and the community still looks to the same people that keeps the situation going, that has kept it there for decades, wants answers out of them. And Eddie's saying it doesn't work that way, because again, we have to show up in numbers and we have to let the council know we're putting you on notice. If you haven't helped us for decades, and we've got another Democrat mayor, how long have we had Democrat mayors, you think?
Forever.
Yeah. So there's no reason for the black community, the Hispanic community, to look to leadership in change of the same people that put us where we've been for decades and have no reason whatsoever to change it. Because what? Because they just keep getting voted back into power automatically. So they're thinking, well, gee, we're doing a bunch of dumb, stupid shit, but as long as they keep putting us in power, they must like it.
Well, see, that's because we're being disrespected,
Ah.
and what we're gonna, that's not up to them to change that. It's up to us to change that.
Mhm.
Somebody asked me to call out the call-in numbers again. The call-in number is 888-247-8712. That's the call-in number. But what we got to do as a community, we got to pretty much say, every one of you guys up there, and I kind of pointed at them a couple weeks ago when I was there, every one of you guys up there are elected. You are elected people. And guess what? Of the 7, well, I should 6, because the new one wasn't elected, she was appointed. You know, but of the 6 of you guys up there, I will bet 4 of you depend every election cycle on black folks voting for you. I understand the game. I understand the game. I know it's politics. But what I'm going to do, the ones who not for the black community, the ones who sit up there and pretend week in and week out, Eddie Adams Jr. is going to run campaigns to get somebody to replace you. That's what the community needs to do.
Yeah.
And once you feel that, see, because I understand politics. Once you feel that, we'll start getting some change. We'll start making some differences. But we're not going to make a difference long as we keep electing the same people, because that's the asinine definition of insanity. Keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. And thank you very much for the call. We got another caller. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio on this fine Saturday afternoon. Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you? Hello?
Hello, Eddie and Gabriel. This is Mike from Tampa. Can you hear me?
Hey, we can hear you very well.
You are right on target. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We're watching our taxpayers' dollars creating a utopia in the downtown area for the rich people, while only less than a mile away, people are living in poverty and crime is rampant. I have a friend who is right there in Ybor. He was within his own home and he got shot. He still has the bullet in his head. I want to make sure that I'm going to take your answer and response over the phone. There is a choice. Don't keep voting down ticket just based upon what you perceive is your color or what is red and what is blue. Vote for what is best for you. There is a choice there, and I want to tell you about today's Blexit event at 4 p.m. in Ybor City with host Candace Owens. There is a choice. Become educated, and wish you the best. Thank you.
Where at in Ybor City? Where at?
I believe at 4 p.m. at the Ritz along 7th Avenue, the Blexit event. Candace Owens will be there. You can find that on social media, particularly on Facebook. That's today at 4 p.m. I think it's the Ritz right there along 7th Avenue in Ybor City. Go see Candace Owens. Go attend the Blexit. It's a great event. I hope to see you there.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
And I do plan on being there. Okay, and he brought something up, and I know we got another call, but let me get this out. I am in the process now of doing something that I need to say it now, so I get it out before the end of the show. I am currently the president of Temple Terrace Republican Club, and I have been the president for about 6 years. And I have been approached by so many people in this community about, running for stuff. I'm not ready to run for anything yet, but what I'm going to do, the first Black Republican Club in the United States of America started here in Tampa about 25 years ago. And what I'm going to do, I know many of those guys still around, and I got a bunch of new folks. I got a lot of new people keep contacting me. We need a Black Republican Club. We need a Black Republican Club. So I'm announcing now, because I'm not running for re-election in Temple Terrace for the Temple Terrace Republican Club president. So after June, we will get in Tampa, and I've already talked to the chairman of the Republican Executive Committee about the process for getting us a Black Republican Club here in Hillsborough County. So that's coming.
Excellent.
So I just want to get that out there, and all you guys who's interested in becoming members and getting more information, give me a call. My cell phone is 813-312. We got another caller. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio on this fine Saturday afternoon. Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you? Hello.
Good afternoon, Brother Ed. This is Brother Dixon. I say greetings to you, your audience, and your sidekick there. I want to ask a question. Do you know of any neighborhood in Tampa that has at least 5 or 6 continuous Black businesses?
No, matter of fact, not even in the hood. Not even in the hood.
Okay, let me just give you, I was born there in Tampa 90 years ago. On Central Avenue, from Cass Street to K Street, we had over 60 businesses, viable businesses. But the urban removal, not renewal, but removal, they displaced all of those businesses. Even if you travel over to 22nd Street, we had Black businesses there. If you go on Main Street, we had Black businesses there. We had Black communities, but systematically, that has been those areas have been destroyed. Nothing happened by mere happenstance. And I'm glad you bring it up one question. This is what Democrats need to learn too. I might be registered in Tampa as a Democrat. When I live in Sarasota, I was Republican. But you should not vote basically for the party, but for the person that would do the best for the community. As you know, in Unfound Loyalty that you have a book of by Mr. Wayne Peterson. He said neither party has been doing Black people right. Because at one time you had Democrats who, after segregation, they became Dixiecrats, and the Republicans started acting like the old Republicans. So we have a problem on our hands, but all problems can be solved if the people come together. And we cannot fall into the wilderness syndrome. Right. While we are fighting among each other, they are coming in and they all are selling his house that they're going to destroy for over $500,000. Would you believe they're selling lots for $250,000? See, by any means necessary, people will displace you. And we need to come together. So any elected official can be defeated.
Yes.
I don't care who it is.
Yes.
If the people come together with a cause, with a just cause. And it doesn't take a lot of people to start a movement. We need to have a movement, and a movement does not last for a moment. And it's something else, we have a lot of gun violence in our neighborhood, but we know that there was a young man, he killed 17 people. Black folks might kill 1 or 2, which is wrong, but then you got to remember Oliver North. He was trading guns for drugs, and he was officer in the military. So we're fighting an uphill battle, but I know that if we come together as a group, we can be very victorious. But we got to come together and stop dividing the community. If not, we're all going down with a sinking ship. And one other thing I want to mention.
Go ahead.
We have DOT. There was a reporter came from Los Angeles, California, to do a story about the history of my father. You know, in Tampa and in Houston, how they build the interstate. Do you know when they build interstate, all of that pollution, it affects your health.
Yep.
And my father was moved twice. He lived on Green and Albany. The interstate came and took his property. They didn't move the Carver City. They took his property there. So we got to look at this. All of the black areas that we had is being destroyed, not only in Tampa, but all over America. It's, you know, we call it gentrification. They call it progress. But what are we going to do to come up with a plan that would be beneficial to all the people in Tampa? And you know, as my friend Ms. Dawson used to say, all white folks are not bad and all black folks are not good. So we got to look at the person and see who's working for the people and not for the party. And I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, we got another caller. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio. Who are you? Where you calling from? What say you? Hello.
Anyhow,
Joe Robinson.
Joe!
it's calling from Pasco County. Man, now you talk about you resurrecting the Black Republican Club in Hillsborough. You know, I used to be the vice president of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Joe.
Matter of fact, when Jeb Bush was in office when I was the Republican,
Right.
man, we had 500 people coming to all black folks there. Was over there for the thing at the Holiday Inn.
Yep.
It had Jeb Bush there. 500 people, man. And everybody was over there back there. They couldn't believe it. That was Jeb Bush appointed more black judges around here than anybody. People don't forgot about all that. In fact, the court blacks with all these different boards and stuff. That's how I got on Swiftmud. But I wanted to say this about the new lady. And right quick, you're running out of time, because I do want to hear it on that day. You know, this thing is this, real quick. And I'm telling this thing about how much we can get out the city's budget. Well, first of all, 40 to 50% at least of the budget is going to fire, police, and safety. So you can't get enough for black business out of that. Okay, so you got to deal with what's available. What's available now from the total 1.8 billion? Because a lot of that is an administrative cost and overhead and benefits. Check it out. When you look at that pie, you'll see that they're taking a bulk of that money for that kind of stuff. So you can't get nothing out of that for business unless it's a little crumbs to buy this or buy a fire, chief police car or something, okay? But moving on from that, one of the major things has always been land. See, that's why I keep telling people, I've been telling for 40 years, if you let your land go, you're a damn fool. And this is how the city became and put us in this thing. It was called systematic code enforcement and the foreclosure of code enforcement liens. There was an arc in Florida chain with old St. Pete over there foreclosing on liens and getting property and turning around. I told that lady, if you bring that back to Tampa, the FBI be over here so quick. That's why the city of Tampa don't want to go to foreclosing on liens. That's how all of the property got taken from black folks with code enforcement liens. And some of the black folks right there going along with it, but there was non-profits building houses with the land they took. When I told them they tried to take mine, somebody's gonna drop dead, and they didn't take it. They sell it up, and the FBI put a couple people in jail, and that's the end of it for them. So I don't want to see code enforcement come back taking people's property, but that's how it happens. And the final thing is this, is that you're right, Eddie, this new lady, she is going to be more of a person that will look at stuff and got intelligence with Variance Review Board, Salary Review Board, all that stuff. But we may get an opportunity for communities not to be so intrusive by development. But developers have got to be told, if you're going to develop housing, then you got to have 10% in the development agreement for affordable and workforce. That's all you got to do. And then track it. Because the cities will do stuff, but they don't track it and follow up that it gets done.
Right.
In this agreement. And so I'm going to leave it at that. You know what I do for a living, man. I just sit back and wait for it to get interesting, but then I'm going to seek out and destroy. Okay? I'm going to seek out and destroy. Okay? But I'm going to let you go. Keep up the good show. And appreciate you keeping it real. And get that Black Republican Club going, man. I might switch back.
God bless you, Joe Robinson.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe.
You know,
All right.
Eddie, real quick, I've had many people, Democrats, lifelong Democrats, in their 70s tell me they are done with the policies because they're seeing their dollar bills shrink they're seeing themselves, they go get groceries or they put gas in their tanks, they're seeing less money available to get it all go around. And I mean, I've got people say that as soon as they knew how to vote, they were voting Democrat. And now in their 70s, they're like, we done. That's too much.
Well, Gabriel, I'm gonna tell you something that's real funny, and I have said this from day one that Joe Biden is weak, and
you're being nice.
Folks used to look at me side-eyed when I said that, but now they see it. And I did say this long before it happened.
Uh-oh.
I said that there's too many national countries that got bullies. They got dictators as leaders, and if you are a weak country, they're gonna take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And now I saw on TV a missile land in the yard of a train station. Several that had went off. There's 50 people, including women and children, who died. And the Russians shot a missile in a train station. A couple weeks ago, they shot one at a bus with nothing but women and children trying to escape. Who the hell does that? You see what I'm saying? If there's somebody around with a pair of balls, with the power that we have, would allow that. First of all, how you deal with a bully? You slap him in the effing face. That's how you deal with it. You do like Will Smith did. But you don't hit him with an open hand, because I have never in my life seen a man hit another man with an open hand, except on TV. You see them.
Well, women do it all the time.
But women, I said man.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got
said
confused.
Man. Okay, so anyway, that's just to let you know, a lot of this stuff ain't what it appears to be. But this country, at some point, well, no. Let me take that back.
No.
Let Joe Biden destroy the Democratic Party, because what's going to happen?
He's going to do it
at these midterm elections. They're going to get their butt whooped so badly that they're gonna start thinking about, well, what can we do for 2024?
Move to Russia.
2024 is going to be all over. Anyway, we got another caller. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio.
Oh,
who are you? Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you? Hello. Caller?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, hello. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't hear the thing. I was going to praise you, Mr. Adams, until you got on that war thing. I'm against that war thing. And I don't think Putin is doing anything that America hasn't done in Iraq and Afghanistan. Over 1 million people was killed by American bombs in those two wars. So I'm going to leave that one alone. But I'd like to praise you on your effort for... And on the behalf of Mr. Councilman Gould. I live in Councilman Gould's district, and I'm a supporter of Gould's even now. I don't think I'm not a person that disapproves of what the lady does. She did what she had to do based on her circumstances. But if you read certain things, and I think people need to, before they make a jump in conclusion, they had an article in the TampaBay Times either on Monday or Tuesday where they explained what really happened based on notes that were written by city officials in the Goose Matter. The Goose Matter was closed at one time. And there's strong implications that the city reopened it, not the young lady. If you read the article in the Creative Lothing, where they actually have City of Tampa official notes in the article, go and look on their website, it came to the same conclusion. And what I'm saying is that this is an attempt to run a strong leader for the black community out of office.
Right.
Because he has challenged the mayor on various.
This is a punishment. It's a dog whistle.
That's all it is. That's all it is. And people need to look at that. And like I said, I live in this district. I live on Hannah Avenue. I live 2 blocks from the project. What goes down there is going to have a strong effect on me. The infrastructure haven't even thought about being improved. As far as you're going to have a big thing there. I'm totally against it. I don't care all these black contractors want. I don't want nobody to make no money. That's my personal opinion. But so that's what people have to look at. And that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we're going to do on this day, April 9th, 1866, the Civil Rights Bill passed over U.S. President Andrew Johnson's veto. That's right. He had the Civil Rights Bill of 1866 vetoed. That would have changed stuff way back when. It had to wait till a long time after that to come into effect, and they've had to redo it a couple of times. But that's your government at work. On this day, April 9th, 1963, Winston Churchill, everybody's favorite Brit, became the first honorary U.S. citizen. And I know a lot of people didn't know that. On this day, April 9th, 1968, murdered civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. was buried. So this is the day he got buried.
Okay.
And on this day, April 9th, 1992, former Panamanian ruler Manuel Noriega was convicted in Miami, Florida of 8 drug and racketeering charges. Gabriel.
Just having a bad day.
Yeah, he was.
So guys, we look at trying to bring some levity, some humor to some of this. Just understand, our crude oil imports is up 40% under the Biden administration. That was not any of that going on under the past administration. Both Biden, he's up 40%, and that means Russia's getting all that money. They get hundreds of millions from us daily because we hate them. Now also the Iran deal, the nuclear deal that's being redone right now, Russia is at the front of the line. It's going to make billions off of that deal. Since Russia has been propping up Iran forever, Russia is very happy with what the Biden administration is doing to help them. It is a big deal. Now, also a historic moment. The Senate confirmed this past week the first ever non-biologist to the Supreme Court, Mrs. Brown Jackson, confirmed as the 3rd black person to sit on the Supreme Court justice. Wow. 2 African nationals given probation for raping the 14-year-old girl in Utah. Why not? Who cares? Now, folks, with all the bad stuff going on, why doesn't the media talk about the black kids, Ramanari Wilford, Anola Beavers from the USA, and Anula George have the highest ever IQ on the planet? And these are black kids. Why isn't the media talking about that?
I talked about that last year.
And they're still quiet about it. Folks, there's just so much going on. Meanwhile, Gene Psaki, who lies for the president daily, said, "We have crushed the Russian economy." Boy, that's great. That's 2 economies in 1 year. That's pretty epic. Way to go, Blue Team. Of course, Colorado, Jared, the governor, just signed into a law, a new bill legalizing abortions through all 9 months up until the moment of birth. So meanwhile, Chris Rock can't stay out of this right here. He has to put a little spin on that, saying the idea of safe abortions, I guess that means only 1 person dies. I guess it's safe, right? Smiley Martin, the 2nd of 3 suspects arrested in connection with Sunday Sacramento's California shooting, was released early in February. We're doing the same thing. Folks, killers kill. Hello? And then, of course, the year is 2024. Your electric car won't start for 48 hours because your status on social media was deemed too offensive. Tesla has control over these cars 24/7. And if you don't agree with the local government can jump in like they have with Apple and Android and cut and suspend services until it is done. Meanwhile, for all of you smart people, remember the influenza case from 2020. Influenza is a fancy word for flu. Yes. The influenza cases dropped 98%. Why weren't we celebrating that? If you're a doctor, knowing 80% of COVID deaths are obese people, overweight people, are still posting get vaccinated instead of exercise, get healthy, take care of yourself, you should be thrown into jail. The National Guard soldiers in riot gear right now. They're running drills out of Texas for mass migration. Right now, they're anticipating up to 18,000 illegal people crossing daily once the rule changes under the Biden administration. That's what they want. All those people are going to need benefits, and all you folks that are getting government benefits right now and Social Security, guess what? You're going to take a cut in pay. They ain't going to be giving you all them food stamps and whatever, all the government assist programs. It ain't for you anymore, for the common person that pays taxes. No, It's for the 18,000 crossing daily. Isn't that crazy? Your side accused a man of gang rape without any evidence. Isn't that funny? All that went away suddenly, but our side quoted a woman's court opinions, and we were called racist. We're not the same.
All right, and next week I met the new USF professor, president this morning, Real Law, and we're gonna have a conversation about her and
Awesome.
USF and the black community, and we're gonna do that next week.
That's
So
nice.
until next week, when we do this all again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, we love you.
God bless America.
Bye bye.